Do you do that kind of like? Is it like scheduled, or is it like just whenever the mood like strikes you?
That's kind of a whenever kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know if you're like, like God, I want to finish watching this, but this is my normal time.
No, nothing like that. I will check we'll check my watch if I have something else going on. Like, do I have time? Maybe.
It depends.
You ever take a whole bunch of NyQuil and then try and do it?
It depends,
Hey.
for me, it depends if the break room's empty. Hello,
That was our cold open, guys.
hello and welcome to the Orig.
I didn't use it. No one knows what I was talking about.
Hello and welcome
As Adam
to
likes
the
to
Orig.
say, I played the pronoun game. I didn't specifically say anything.
A show by Damage Control Podcasting, a professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I'm here with
Cody Dietrich.
Daniel Newkirk.
Tyler.
All right, with Alien Earth premiering on August 8th, 2025. This episode, we thought we would discuss the Alien franchise. So for this episode, we're doing Alien and Aliens. And then the next episode for Ridge, we'll do Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection.
Stick around to see how pissed off I make Adam.
And then with our current cold opening, I'll hashtag self-love or something. I don't know. Okay, so
Self-care.
self-care. Okay,
Hashtag
So-
NyQuil.
hopefully leading up to
There's our sponsorship.
Yep.
leading up to Alien Earth, we're going to talk about aliens. Hopefully we get in the algorithm because that'll be something new for us. So, before we get into the first movie, by the way, did everyone get a chance to watch it?
I've watched both of them pretty recently, but I haven't watched it since you gave the assignment.
Okay.
I watched 1.25.
And apparently he's got something meaningful to say, so I'm looking forward to that. Cody, did you get a chance to watch it?
I remember him.
Meaningful or memeful?
Hateful.
Oh, okay.
Or it's going to fill us full of hate anyway.
It's going to piss, hipster off.
No,
I have
gotcha.
talking points.
Okay, so overall...
So no one did the homework, is what we're trying to say.
No, I did a shit ton of homework. Because like I was telling Tyler, this is my favorite time period of filmmaking. Nightmare on Elm Street, the Alien franchise. This is my I fucking loved it. In like an overall view, are you a fan of the Alien franchise? In all video games, comic books, movies, everything.
Definitely.
One of the few horror franchises I can watch. Like, not by
Because it's
myself
not-
still, but I've seen them.
Okay.
Not with what I saw.
Okay. Are we excited about Alien Earth?
I am. I plan on watching it when it comes out.
I
I'm
still don't
indifferent.
know what it's supposed to be about. I guess the aliens come to Earth, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And they're introducing more than just the xenomorphs, I think, right?
I don't know. I would kind of assume they're going to, and I would be surprised if there isn't a Predator reference, because it takes place significantly before most of the movies. It takes place before Alien 1, I think.
Maybe it might explain why Wayland Yutani know about the xenomorph species.
Yeah, I'm really curious what they're doing with that whole storyline.
I watched the trailer, and then I've gotten to the point now, I just watch one trailer, and it has to be an official release.
Yeah.
And then that's all I want.
Yeah, because I've seen, for the Alien Earth, I've seen a whole bunch of fake trailer thumbtacks for it, and I don't know what's real or what's not.
Yeah, the only trailer I've seen is the one where they're in the science pod, and the dude shuts the door, and the alien crawls up to the door or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the trailer I've seen. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Do you think Alien? Is there any other? Or as soon as I ask this question, you guys will probably rattle off a ton of them. But are there any other IPs forever linked like Alien and Predator? Because you talk about Predator, almost instantly, everyone's like, well, Alien versus Predator. Or is the Alien going to be in the universe? Or will Predator be in the universe?
And that's a fair point. Because, there's been, 2 Alien versus Predator movies, and then 2 references to each other?
Yeah, and then in the new Predator Badlands, there's that synthetic that has that her irises float up, and they got Wayland Yutani insignias on her eyes.
Oh, I haven't seen Badlands yet.
I know.
Wait, Badlands is out?
No, it's not the preview. Sorry, the
preview.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
for Badlands.
sorry.
Okay.
I will say it's the one that sort of started that craze, though. The versus sort of thing. Because it was Alien versus Predator. Then shortly after that, that's when we got Freddy versus Jason. But then I think
that's cinematic masterpiece.
and then we got
Still
sort
love
of
it. Still
maybe
love
not
it.
mainstream, but I think it really ignited that comic frame of Predator versus everybody, Alien versus everybody.
Because even what was it? Was it Val Kilmer's Batman or Clooney's Batman that references Superman, where he's like, "This is why Superman works alone."
Clooney.
So are those two like forever linked, kind of?
I mean, sure, but because they take place in the same universe, I think I would not think about those two in the same way that I think about Aliens versus Predator. Because like even when you have like an Aliens movie or like an Aliens video game or Aliens comic book, I'm like, Predator's in here, and the same thing when there's a Predator thing. Like they've made like video games where the three factions are Alien, Predator, and Colonial Marines.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, no, at this point, the two were just together. And I don't know how the rights work with any of that. I think they're owned by the same people, so they can do that.
I think they are now, aren't they?
I don't know.
I know they weren't originally. They weren't originally owned by the same person. It started out as a collab, and then it's like, this is so popular, we're going to make it where we can't say no to this anymore.
Yeah, I think and you may have a really good point there that I can't think of anything that is that interwoven that did not start in its own universe together.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So
Godzilla and Kong,
Walt.
maybe.
there you go.
Yeah, that might be the other one to...
The Walt Disney Company owns the rights to both.
Walt Disney Company owns the fucking rights
Yeah.
to Jesus.
Well, that-
Well,
I mean-
that's because they bought Fox. I forgot
Right.
about that.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
That means every xenomorph queen is a Disney princess.
Yeah, I do like
Well,
that.
she would be a Disney queen.
Well, they were not queens, so at one point they were princesses.
Aren't all Disney queens, like, evil?
Yeah,
No.
that's right on theme.
Elsa?
And the one,
No, she's a princess. isn't
and the
she?
one
Well,
xenomorph that's
Elsa
not quite
became a queen, and then she abdicated, so now Anna's a queen.
Yeah, but Elsa didn't want to fucking make a snowman, and what kind of evil person doesn't want to make a snowman?
Because she didn't have control over her cryokinesis, and now she's basically an elemental god.
She went to Lynn
But
Quaid for-
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
if your little sister comes up to your door and knocks and is like, do you want to build a snowman? Your fucking answer is yes.
Well, that was until she almost killed her sister with her ice powers.
Then you have an Iceman and a snowman.
She wouldn't have killed her. She just would have put her in, like, suspended animation.
Yeah, like they did with Walt
She
Disney's
didn't
head.
know that at the time. She was turning to ice forever until they stopped it.
Okay, speaking of suspended animation, Alien.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Back to the topic at hand, yes.
Released.
What are we talking about?
Released in 1979 with a budget of 11 million, it grossed 104.9 million worldwide. Okay, let's go quickly. Let's go quickly over the plot. We don't have to go scene by scene like my classic Halloween.
Oh my
podcast.
God.
I was
But-
kind of waiting for that in this deep dive at some
But
point.
no, I was going to, but then I was like, nah, we'll all do it as a group.
Yeah.
Because that was my way of proving that you fuckers watched the movie. Okay, so with the cast, Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, John Hurt as Kane, Harry Dean...
Sir John Hurt.
Oh, sorry. Sir John Hurt is Sir Kane, Harry Dean Stanton as Brett, Yaphet Kotto as... I'm going to name them all because there's barely anyone in there. Yaphet Kotto as Parker, Tom Skerritt as Dallas, Veronica Cartwright as Lambert, Ian Holm as Ash, and I'm going to fuck this up, Bojaji Badejo as the alien. Okay. The version I watched the making of featurettes in the 2003 director's cut of the flick with the commentary. So I don't know what versions you watch. So
I watched the one on Disney Plus.
okay, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a Hulu subscription, then it's
I watched it
Disney
on
Plus.
DVD.
Really, I got the quadrilogy. Do you have the quadrilogy?
No, I got like just Alien. Like Walmart DVD Alien.
Oh, okay.
Why is your DVD shaped in a square?
Because
You have
that's
a
how I
special-
hold it. I hold it
They do
like this.
DVDs different in Kansas.
Yeah, in Kansas they're shaped like
The
license
shapes-
plate.
the
Like they
shelves
don't
are
have
weird,
the
so you have to have a special DVD that you buy.
Tyler,
yo.
what's the story of Alien?
What's the story
I
of
want to see
Alien?
if you said you hated this movie. He warned me. In the
I did
truck
not say I
on the way
hated
over.
it.
You're like, I hate this movie. So
That
I
is
was like, okay.
fucking hell. So all right, so you've got the crew of the Nostromo. They're awoken from stasis for a distress call. Kane, Lambert, and Dallas go to a down ship, and then that's when the facehugger attacks Kane. Facehugger comes back onto the ship.
You've seen more of the movie than I thought. I really thought you.
I watched the whole thing. I didn't fall asleep during 2 because I
2.
was bored. I fell asleep because I was tired.
Oh, okay.
It was like 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Last
And-
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I forgot about the homework.
Yeah. Hey, I openly admitted it.
Okay.
I watched it with a completely open mind. And then hijinks ensue. Ripley's the only one left alive. Ripley and Jones.
Jonesy.
Oh. Sorry, Jonesy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm leaving the fucking cat behind.
You are a horrible person.
She
She took the time, put the cat into like a future cat carrier. But see, I didn't know. So she sets the cat down at one point, and that's when she goes to try to stop the self-destruct. I didn't know if she went back for the cat or if it was like a happy accident where like she was going down a corridor and then she's like, oh yeah, here's the cat, and then picked up and left.
I think what I remember from watching it is that she went back for the cat. Like everything was fine, and then she's like, Jonesy, and then went back for the cat.
That's why it was annoying when I think it wasn't Parker. Who's the other engineer? Brett. They're like, well, why didn't you get the cat? Now it's going to screw up all of our readings. Go find the cat. I'm like, how about you just leave the cat alone and you keep searching the ship, and if you come across it, you come across it. Like,
right.
How about we stop worrying about the fucking cat?
Exactly. If you flamethrower the cat instead of the alien,
Yeah.
oh well.
Like,
I'm sorry.
So we're talking.
Oopsie doopsie. Like,
we're talking about the cat a lot. So I scanned through the FAQs. Why would an interstellar mining company or towboat or whatever you want to call them, trucking company, why would they have a cat on board?
space rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plain simple.
I mean, that, and there are really good science benefits to owning an animal.
Okay. Before we get off the cat, I had another trivia about the cat on the commentary.
You always got to have a pussy with you.
On the commentary.
Yeah, Sigourney.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the cat Jonesy sees the alien and it has that hissing thing? So to film that, Ridley Scott says he would never do this today, but he said to do that, he put the cat on the set and then brought in a piece of plywood, and then so the cat couldn't see, brought in a German Shepherd, and then when they said action, they raised the wood.
Oh, so he tormented the cat.
So he said both animals were fine, none of them were hurt. The dog was on a lead, but he said he would find a different way to get the cat to react that way.
Okay. But better than Milo and Otis just throwing puppies to a bear.
Okay.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of stands out to me, and I understand that there's a level of decency involved here, but why is it okay to be cryogenically frozen in your underwear, but not your space uniform?
Yeah,
And that underwear did not look comfortable at all.
No, I mean,
But
it was...
when she goes into stasis the second time, she's wearing a uniform.
no, she wears panties.
No,
Doesn't she strip down?
She strips down, and then she gets into the spacesuit later because the alien comes back.
Yeah.
And that's when she opens the airlock, the alien gets sucked out, and she shoots it with the grappling gun and then starts the burners. But when she wakes up in 2, she's all covered up.
Also, Jonesy the cat's with her in the
Yeah.
pod, even though she put him in a different pod.
Oh.
No, she takes the cat out later. Yeah, because she's sitting there and she's petting the cat as it's this is the last.
She's petting the pussy. Then the cat finally came over.
Yeah, this is the last recording of the Nostromo. Blah 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 blah.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up.
That
because
underwear did not look comfy. That was like
No.
weird, like writing, like, and then like
Yeah, and then like the top was like weirdly like floppy, and like it would be one thing if it looked like space underwear.
Yeah.
But it looked like fucking...
John Hurt's space underwear looked completely uncomfortable.
Well, here, let's rationalize this. What if? So you still is your heart still beating? Like, are you still going through processes, or are you basically shut down?
I would assume that you're shut down. It's cryostasis.
Yeah, you would have to be.
If your heart's beating, then you're still using calories, and you're going to starve to death in
Yeah, 'cause
cryostasis.
it's like
Well, I was thinking maybe the diaper was to catch any waste. Like,
No.
I'm just trying to rationalize what.
She walks out of that, and those white panties are still fucking pristinely white.
Okay, I'm
because in the
just trying to
second
th-
one
I'm just
she
trying to
wakes
throw
up
stuff
after
50
57,
something.
50
some years.
Yeah,
right?
like
Yeah.
57 years.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, there's no way to do that.
But speaking of being nude, the original ending was, well, I'll get to more of it, but she was actually supposed to be naked. I'll get to more of it when we get to the ending. But anything else before I get to talk? Does anyone else want to throw anything out before I get to the talking points?
For a movie called Alien, it takes a long fucking time to alien.
But that you didn't like that part.
That's true. It does take a long time to get going in that first one.
This is what I will say, and this is what'll piss Adam off, is I did not like it watching it for the first time in this world today. If I would have seen it when it first came out, it probably would have scared the shit out of me. But looking at it now, it was all the horror elements were based on like the element of the suspension element of it. Like you didn't know what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. You didn't know any of those things. Like you didn't know what the alien looked like.
No,
But
yeah,
I've seen a xenomorph. I know what it was going to look like.
Fair.
But I will say, when the alien was in the escape pod, I think it was in the escape pod, and like it's like the dome, but like the dome had blended in with the wall.
Yeah.
That freaked me out. Not like it scared me, but I was like, because I would have done the same thing. I would have been standing there and I've been like, and then it moves. I would have shit my pants.
What about Dallas's death scene? Did that? It's more of a jump scare, but did it get you?
No,
Which one's Dallas?
The captain.
where he's in the vents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. I thought it was going to be more graphic, I guess, and that's just because the few horror movies that I've seen are more graphic. Because, like I said, it was just a very slow paced movie. Because, like I said, it was all based on, like I relate it to Jaws. Like you don't see the shark, you don't see the shark, you don't see the shark. Like it's all based on like the suspense until you finally see it.
Okay.
And I think that's a fair point, because we are so, like, the Aliens movie has permeated into culture so far for so long now that we all know what a face hugger does. But in 1979 or whatever fucking movie came out, and the fucking alien face hugs the dude, you have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah, like you don't know that it's gonna burst out of his chest. You think that's it.
So his thing is he's just gonna suffocate this shit?
Yeah, it's like okay, that's all it is.
Yeah, and you save them. Great, good job, way to go, science.
So going with the face, I'm just going to before I forget. Then you guys. So hold on. So
Well, I actually got a quote about the face hugger.
okay. Well, maybe go ahead.
Okay, so I did learn this fascinating tidbit that the alien's blood was not originally acidic, because they got halfway through the movie and like, okay, why aren't they just going to take a gun out and shoot this thing?
Yeah.
It's because, well, we got to give them a reason why they don't want to do that. It's because it's blood's acid. They're on a ship. It will just go through the entire ship and fucking cause an error.
That made me think of the whole turn the lightsaber and then drop it.
Yeah.
That's true. And
That's
then,
what it made me think of, because they were just like running down. They're like, nope,
Because
still going
on the making of, the writer was like, so why don't they just shoot him? And one guy just like haphazardly, he's got acid for blood, and they're like, oh yeah, and just like
Like I said, it just, again, it took so long. Like the first like 10, 15 minutes, it's the engineers talking about how they want to be paid more money.
Well, they have to.
And yeah, I think that's necessary for that first movie, because you have to build the world.
No,
You
I
can't
get it.
You know, you just can't like open it up and be like, space, aliens, bruh.
I know.
Like you gotta have like.
well, you say that, but the original script really was space aliens. Whoa.
And like I said, I'm just saying from a first time watcher in 2025, where I'm so used to, like, when a lot of first movies in a franchise come out, they don't take that time to build that type of universe.
Fair.
That's true.
It's just right into it. So at the same time, I like that type of film, because clearly they made this movie and it was made with detail and what they wanted to do. So they built that universe. And like, you know, I'm sure, I mean, you have the box office and everything. I doubt if you translate that into now numbers, I doubt it was Avenger level box office.
Whatever 104.9 million would be today. That's what it meant.
So I'm saying like that I miss movies where like you could take a risk and, you know, do a project that you love and be like, okay, well, it didn't make $1 billion, but we can still expand on it. So that's why I said, you know, you got pissed off earlier because I was like, it was slow, but there were still tons of things that I liked about it. But I was also comparing it to my 2025 brain where horror movies are just blood and guts, where like you didn't even really see the xenomorph until the very end. I mean,
Right.
you saw like bits, but like when Brett, he was the first one to die from the xenomorph.
No, well, from the Xenomorph.
Well, not
yeah. Brett was
Like
the first one.
you didn't really see any. I think you saw like a split second, and then Dallas had like the weird, like the xenomorph was like doing this thing with its hands.
Yeah, I would say that shot he looks the most like a man in a suit.
Yeah.
because it cuts and he just kind of goes. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the third one is when it did like the second row of teeth. And maybe it's just because I've seen so many movies and I like the behind the scenes of movies. I was like, I bet that's on an actuator and the actuator's just moving down. But that, I mean, and that's my problem is that's how I like to look at movies is the technical way of doing it.
Well, there's the scene where they're dissecting the face hugger, and that was actually a mixture of shellfish, oysters, and lamb guts.
Yeah, and it reeked.
Yeah,
because back in the 70s, you didn't have LED, so you had these like horrible, huge hot lights, and they say like after an hour, people were just vomiting because it was so that shit reeked.
But like
so
I
bad.
liked when they were on the ship and you know they're looking at the giant alien and they're like, look at the rib cage, like it looks like something like burst out of there. I was like, oh okay, you know that's pretty cool how they clued that in because I
the
wouldn't
foreshadowing.
yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like I thought the spaceship, the Nostromo looked like the interiors looked amazing.
Yeah, I love that retro tech.
I thought the ship was way too big from the outside, but it's also a carrier ship basically.
Yeah, I think they're like basically they're space tow truckers.
Yeah.
type.
Yeah.
okay, so is the name of the ship a play on Nostradamus?
No,
No,
it's a
it's-
Joseph Campbell book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so real quick, 104 million is what Aliens made, right?
Yeah, right.
Adjusted for today, that is $460.5 million.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, still
that-
not reaching.
that
normal,
wouldn't have-
but
Yeah.
But like I said, that interior of that ship, amazing looking.
okay,
Even like the mother room.
yeah. Dana, you brought it up. You like the retro tech. What did you guys think of the design of Nostromo, the derelict, the space jockey, mother?
They did a lot of the Star Wars pan over the model, which I'm not saying like they stole that from Star Wars. I'm just saying like there was a lot of those shots which I liked.
Yeah, that's like the filmmaking of the time. Because Star Wars was right around the same time.
Yeah.
So Nostromo was made to look like a Gothic cathedral.
Yeah, you could
Type.
could see that.
Yeah, you could see that. You could see the Geiger influence in the entire movie. I love retro tech, man. Like booting up a giant spaceship on a floppy and a CRT monitor. Fucking give me that all day over touchscreens
I
and
love
fucking LCDs.
the tick 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 tick, like
Yeah.
whenever like the mother was talking or anything like that, like the only room that had any real light was that mother communication room type thing.
So
Everything else was just dark and dirty and
So I saw the movie in late 90s. And that's the only part where I'm like, this looks like a bunch of Christmas. Like, I bought the entire world, but Mother looks like just a room where they're like, hey, poke a few holes and then string some Christmas lights through. Like, That's what I'm thinking. Did they
That's
even
fair.
did they even buy it? I mean, what did the 1979 audience think? I mean, did you like? I
I
don't
didn't
know.
watch it in 1979.
No, I mean,
fuck you.
No,
Not that old, Adam.
I don't know. I'm
Not
like,
everybody can be your advanced age.
no, I'm just thinking like,
It was weird as hell to get in that room, though.
yeah.
You had to like get a key card, walk up to a wall where everything looked the same, and then push open a door that flopped down, insert the key card. I'm like, how many times do you walk in and you're just tired and you're like, not where the hell is the right one to open?
But have you ever worked in you worked in a prison, so you've worked at a government
Yeah.
agency, but we've all worked in factories or factory type places. That is like the way that spaceship probably would look, which is where I think the Star Wars prequels fall back on, because everything's clean and like
It,
how many
it actually looks lived in,
How
and it
many
looks like
times-
with a bunch of people who like ain't my job to fucking clean that up.
or it's like, hey, I really need to get a pipe for we don't have the funding, just put duct tape on it, like shit like
Yeah.
that, like that was cool. I also like the part where
Like you could tell them, you could even say with it being like, oh, the technology looked old. It's a ship that's way past its prime, but the company's too cheap to replace it.
Oh,
it
yeah.
still works.
it's still running, so we don't need to replace
There
it.
wasn't shit in that prison that worked right.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
I like the scene, and I don't know. So I watched the director's cut, so I don't know what version was on So there's a scene where Sigourney Ripley goes down to talk to Brett and Parker, and they purposely turn the steam on. They're
Yeah.
like, so what can fix it? Well, I need to do this, and this. And like, well, we got to hurry up. Like, well, it's going to take this amount of time. And so what about this raise? And so Ripley, they have that discussion. Ripley walks off, and he just instantly turns it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
I'm
that
like,
one was
yeah,
on there.
I've done shit like that before too.
Yeah, like, and that's part of the way I really enjoy the opening where the engineers and all of them are just bitching about money, because it makes these people feel like real people. Like, it's not just these sterilized movie characters, that these people are real characters with real fucking issues and problems. Like the fucking Christmas tree in the break room. Like, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we have a Christmas tree up. Is it Christmas? I don't know.
I thought the twist with Ash was pretty well. I didn't realize that he was an android, but I'm like, clearly something's fucking wrong with this guy. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't. And again, I don't know what in movies of that era, because I'm not a hipster like Adam. Like, I don't know if like hiding that type of stuff was like. I guess, you know, a couple of years before that, you had the big. No, it wasn't yet. Empire hadn't come out yet.
No.
It was after. But like, it was like clearly every time Ash did something, you're like, okay, clearly he's either a douche or he knows something that he's not.
Right. Yeah, you definitely, like, they see that out so well. Like, he's weird, and you watch that movie going, why is he weird? And then when they reveal that he's the android, you're like, oh.
It's because he's not people.
Yeah.
So the original script. So Dan O'Bannon wrote with Ronald Shusett wrote the original script, and it was really bland. They did Dark Star, or Last Starfighter. It was either Dark Star or Last Starfighter with John Carpenter, and it didn't do too well. Dan O'Bannon, being a sci-fi geek, he wrote this, and it's really bland. It's kind of a bland script. Basically, it was about an all-male crew. They went and they found the derelict was still there, but the egg chamber was found in a pyramid outside the derelict. The idea was that planet had some sort of religious alien species, and their religious acts was to be they would sacrifice these animals to these egg sacs, which produced these creatures, and that was their.
So that was kind of like AVP. The first
Yeah.
AVP kind of has that,
Yep.
re-honors that plot line.
Yep. So anyway, he was shopping around. Everyone at the time, really, sci-fi was seen as kid shit, kind of like comic books at the time. That's for kids.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, the only sci-fi movie that was well respected at the time was 2001: Space Odyssey. So they found Walter Hill. Walter Hill wanted to do it. He's done 48 Hours, another 48 Hours. And he was going to make it super violent. All of his movies are super violent. The studio wasn't really liking it. And then, but so while they were doing that, they were adding stuff. So the android Ash wasn't in the original. They brought that in. They brought the idea of the company in, that there was a company behind it.
Yeah, because only a company would disregard human life to further monetary value.
Basically, yes. And then they got a hold of Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott had only done one movie, and he wanted to change. He wanted to add some female characters into. So I think Lambert became a female. Ripley became a female. And Dan O'Bannon, because he wanted to direct it, and he thought he was going to get the chance. So he was kind of niffed. He's like, first of all, he was pissed that they were rewriting his shit. The other guy who wrote it was like, our fucking movie's being made. Who gives a shit? Well, our names are still on it. Like,
right.
So he was already pissed, and then he got pissed again because they didn't let him direct it. He thought he was really had a chance, and then he's like, "Who's this guy? He's done one movie," and then it turned out he's like, they asked Ridley Scott, "Do you even like sci-fi?" And he goes, "Nope, never seen a single thing." So that really pissed him off.
Oh,
but to Ridley Scott's credit, he goes, "Give me some recommendations. I'll go watch them, so I'll learn the world." So he actually watched it. He had watched a bunch of sci-fi, and he's like, I don't know. And then he ended up watching this other movie, which I'll reference. And then he came back and he goes, tell you what, Alien, space, science fiction, Star Wars is to science fiction. Star Wars is sci-fi by the way of fantasy. Alien will be sci-fi by the way of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because he watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre and he goes, I got it. This is what this movie's going to be. Because at the time, all he knew was like Star Wars. And he's like, that's not how it's not going to work.
So, like, he read the script, watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and went, space, alien. Ah!
Basically. So, what else? I think Veronica Cartwright, Lambert's character, was originally supposed to have the face hugger, but they argued like this is a metaphor for rape. Like the whole, when H.R. Giger came, all of his designs extremely sexual. You got the
we also have the weird sexual scene where the Ash tries to kill Ridley's character with a rolled up magazine.
So
that was fucking.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head because I'll bring that up. So you got the derelict, which has the vaginal hallways and everything. And so they're like, this is a metaphor for rape because it was like, how human, like in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, one, we don't want the female to be weak because the female's always weak in horror movies. So we'll make it the guy that the first one is attacked. Two, the women are always getting sexually attacked in movies. So let's get the guy to be sexually attacked. Basically getting raped. And then it's like, if the strong male character is raped, what the fuck is going to happen next? So by not only did they add women to an all male cast, they switched it around to where the male was the one getting sexually attacked, and then the women, Veronica Carr, not that she was weak, I just think Ripley's the stronger of the two, and then so then the idea of Ash, how did Ridley Scott put it, that they're not human, but they're curious of human nature. So they don't technically have a sex drive, but they're curious of the sex drive. So that was not that was in the script. This is just Ridley in his own mind canon was like, that was his attempt at rape. Like, he doesn't understand sex drive. He's curious of a sex drive because he doesn't have it. So that was like his, like the butcher knife in the slasher movie being the penis going into women. That was Ash's, like, this is my penis extension going into your mouth. Plus, he also, it was kind of a weird way to kill somebody.
It was a very weird way.
Well, actually, since it wouldn't necessarily kill because it's still a tube, so unless
I think it was more of a, like, it was, I don't know, it was just weird. Like, I guess I didn't look at it that way. I mean, I understand the thought behind it, but I just didn't look at it.
Another part.
There's allegory, and then there's taking your allegory a little too far, and like I don't see it either with Tyler.
So when the actors they land on LV-426 and they go towards the derelict ship, those spacesuits they got on, they were super heavy. The gloves were hockey gloves that were painted shut, so they couldn't move. The helmets weren't vented, so if you guys could see like the dew or whatever forming on the thing, and then the exhaust port, it was fake. I mean, it was fake, but it was meant to look like it was exhausting gas. It was leaking back into.
Ooh.
So after every cut, the three actors were saying, "Hey, we cannot breathe," and they're like, "No, you'll be fine." Until to make the sets look bigger, Ridley Scott had his kids come on, because you have small kids and made the set look bigger. After 2 shots, the kids were like, "Hey, we can't breathe." All of a sudden, that problem got fixed.
No kidding, right?
Yeah.
Bat it up.
Yeah, that was in the director's commentary. So Cody talked about the facehugger parts. Okay, so the original ending of the movie was basically Ripley and Jonesy got to the escape hatch and got out of there, and the Nostromo blew up. And Ridley's like, this is lame. There's like it doesn't feel like it. We need something. We need like a fourth act. So the original Ridley Scott convinced the studio, like, this is what I want to do. We're going to go into the Narcissus. The alien's going to be there. Ripley's going to be naked, and she is going to get raped. Ripley is going to shoot the alien with the Gatling gun. The alien, I forget what happens. Shoots it with the alien gun, and then the alien does something, and that ends up cutting Ripley's head off. Ripley falls over dead, and the final scene of the movie is the alien sitting in the seat mimicking Dallas's voice, doing Sigourney Weaver's voiceover.
That's a terrible ending.
And that's what the studio.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the studio said. No.
Yeah.
He goes. We'll give you X amount of money. We'll give you X amount of time. You're not doing that. So it ended up becoming what it is. But speaking of naked, when Sigourney stripped down, Ridley wanted her naked because she wanted. It was all about like sexual metaphor, like,
Yeah.
because like the alien was curious, because dogs will just you see a dog like hop on another dog and just like fucking hump it, like that was the idea of this alien, that it was
It was a horny
Oh, there's
alien?
nothing else around for me to hump.
that, and like Giger's design. Have you ever seen any of his actual
Yeah,
work?
they're
Oh, yeah.
fucking...
Very, very sexual. And then it was supposed to be sexually attractive towards Ripley, and it was supposed to be like almost a rape scene. And then the studio's like, no. so because I guess even Ripley was up for it, like, or Sigourney Weaver was up for it. So then it became what it became. One of my favorite quotes ever, because I've watched this making of documentary a lot, because even like this, like I was telling you, this is my favorite time period of filmmaking, because it makes me feel like I can make movies. It's definitely easier nowadays, but I don't understand computer programming.
Yes.
So that
No.
shit's like all out of my head. So anyway, so at the end when when the alien's dangling out of the ship and the thruster's about ready to kick on, the FX guys are like, so what should we do? Like, do we light them on fire? Like, how do we make the thrusters? He goes, I don't know. Just have water come down and then light the water up. And they're like, why water? Ridley goes, because it'll look like plasma, like a plasma engine. And the FX guy goes, what's a plasma engine? And Ridley goes, I don't know. And he just walked off.
There were several other scenes like that. Like, apparently in the one scene, there's chains hanging, there's water coming down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And they're like, why would this be happening on a fully functioning ship? And he's like, condensation. Well, what about the chains? Like, I need something there for movement. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, can you, like, no, you're going to do it because I want it for this shot.
Yeah, but yeah, he's
There's
like,
a shit ton of smoking for a ship that's probably just got a a whole bunch of oxygen being pumped into it.
So like,
Well, it was the 70s. Smoking couldn't hurt you then.
Exactly.
It's not until that damn Surgeon General got a hold of the cigarettes and changed it.
It just makes me think of, I think it was Thank You for Not Smoking, where it's like someone's doing a movie and they want them smoking in space, and like it's someone on the set. They're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. There's all this oxygen that would be there, you'd have to have it going, and then the guy's just like, well, we'll just throw in a line of, thank God we created the such and such and such, so now the oxygen won't blow up. That's what I was thinking every single time I saw someone smoking on that ship. I'm like, God damn, they're smoking a lot.
Well, in their defense, they were using flamethrowers, so
That's
They
true,
did
too.
flamethrow a lot, yeah.
yeah. So like, if the flamethrower didn't do shit, like the fucking this, nothing.
So do you guys remember Lambert's death scene where the alien comes and does does the mouth opening part, and she's screaming, and then you see the tail come up between her legs as another sexual
Yeah.
gore.
Yeah.
So that pissed off the actor Veronica Cartwright, because you can see it now once you know it. If you go back and watch, those aren't her feet; those are actually Brett's feet. So she felt like they cut that scene out of Brett and they put it into her thing, and everyone's like, so what does it feel like were you sexually assaulted by the alien? And she goes, those were not because it goes in between his legs and up, so everyone's like, oh, that went into her, and she was fucking furious. According to her, she was furious when she saw the movie, because that's all anyone asked her about from that movie.
That her death scene seemed like it was the alien toying with her, like, and because you could hear Parker like, move, like, get out of the way.
That ludicrous song, move, back
out
up,
of the
bitch,
way.
get out.
But he kept saying it, and I was like, are you going to move? Like, is he going to kill you? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is no one doing anything?
True.
That was my thing, and I'm just like, as putting myself as if I was in that situation, I hate to say it, fucking flamethrower on both. I mean, what if you're in that situation? What are you going to do? If this person is, to which I get it, I would probably not be able to move if there was a freaking alien that far from my face that is, killed a whole bunch of other people. I'd be like, all right, well, I guess I got to do this and just take them both out.
Let me ask you guys this. I don't know where I fall on this, but some of the deleted dialogue from Ash when he's headless, and they've clearly put Ian Holm, the actor, cut a hole through the table and had him put.
Yeah, because you could see when his head was like, when like the neck part was sticking out, you're like, that doesn't look anything like him, and then like they fix it, and I'm like, huh, now it looks like him.
But some of the deleted dialogue and some of the ideas that Ridley Scott wanted to get through was Ian Holm was like, because they're asking what they should do. Why does Wayland Yutani want him such and such? And Ian Holm goes, has anyone ever just tried talking to it, tried communicating with it? And I don't know. What do you guys think about like that? If they followed through with like maybe it's not.
If I feel at this, like back then, if they had talked to it and it spoke back, we wouldn't have the franchise.
Okay.
I agree. I think that would have ruined it. What is interesting about the aliens to me is their bestial nature.
Okay.
That you have the perfect space entity and it is an animal, basically.
But how did they know that it was because he says like it's the perfect organism.
Don't they say that later?
The Ash's, when Ash's head is off, and like they're like, why does the company want it? And he said that it's the perfect organism.
Because
how did they know?
Well, maybe he's extrapolating at that point because, hey, it grew from the size of a ferret to full grown in less than a day, basically.
okay, let me ask you guys this. This is the same problem I have with the Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic Park movies where they're selling dinosaurs for war weapons. What would Wayland Yutani use the xenomorphs for? they're clearly uncontrollable.
I think it would be more of a so you would if I was so you want this ship out of the way, you would basically send over this group of xenomorphs knowing that they're going to destroy that ship and that entire crew. So like it would be you were using them as like a kamikaze missile. Like there's
so cannon fodder that you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about.
You're
like
like-
if you wanted to destroy the crew of the ship without actually destroying the ship. Because I think maybe that's the thing. You're sitting in an organism that you know can worm its way through the ship without destroying anything because they're not interested in any of the resources on it. They just want the people.
Well, I'm saying like if you let loose, a bunch of xenomorphs on this enemy ship, there's no way you're taking that ship back. I think it's us looking at it from a quote unquote like business company. It's okay. This is a rival ship. I can put these aliens on there, destroy that ship. Now that company doesn't have this, so now they have to come to me type of thing. Like you wouldn't use it as like they're going to kill all these people on this ship and then I'm going to come and take that ship. Like that ship is done for. It's just going to be floating space junk.
Yeah, part of the thing that I want to bring up here, and it's probably because you guys aren't the big fans of the franchise, but in Alien Romulus, they kind of established Weyland-Yutani as the corporation. There isn't a whole lot of rival there.
Well,
They're
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. So
they're-
looking at it from
They're basically Disney of
Right, like there is no rival company for them to go to war with. To me, I think the reason they want that, and I don't know why they know it's the perfect alien species. Hopefully, Alien Earth explains that. But my thought is they want it so they can look at an experiment and can innovate off of what this creature can do. Like they did with spider silk and Kevlar.
okay.
Like you took spider silk, mixed it with Kevlar, made it 10 times stronger. So like if you could dissect an alien whose blood is acidic, who is hydrofluoric acidic, I think, is what they said in one of the movies.
I think
It's crazy, crazy strong acid. And then you have a skin that is immune to it and internal organs that are immune to it. Plus you have a functioning biology that can shut down in the vacuum of space and not be harmed. It can shut down without the need of nutrients because they can basically put themselves in cryostasis until a source of nutrition's around. And is super evolutionary because the facehuggers, the xenomorph that pops out of whatever the facehugger does is based off the DNA of the creature. The xenomorph we see in Alien is a human xenomorph.
right.
But you see, I think it's Aliens, the second one, where you see a dog xenomorph because the facehugger infects a dog.
Well, that's the dog
that-
one's the third one.
Is it 3? Okay.
But the warrior aliens aren't based off a human. It's like the ones in the second one. But so originally, did you guys was the deleted scene? Did you guys watch the delete? Was it in the movie where Dallas is in a cocoon? She goes and she finds like Dallas didn't die. He's being wormed up in this cocoon, and Ripley's got the flamethrower and he's in the wall.
no.
Yeah, I think my version had that.
Okay, so the original idea, which was changed by Cameron because he changed it because it wasn't in the movie. The original idea is that the aliens don't kill everybody; they capture them and they worm them up in the cocoon, the Geiger-looking vagina-looking things, and then that biology slowly changes them into they eat all the nutrients and suck out everything that they need from these creatures, and that helps create the eggs. Until Cameron created the idea of the queen.
The alien queen.
Right. Real quick before we move on to the second, is there anything else real quick before I just read some random trivia facts? These facts I did not get from the commentary or behind it. These are Internet Movie Database facts.
I can't believe they stole the the chest burster scene from Spaceballs.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't even do the song and dance.
I know, that was really ridiculous.
I put this one in for you guys. You guys love video games. This film and its sequel inspired the long-running Metroid video game series. The Metroid franchise features a female protagonist as an homage to Ripley, and apparently one of the antagonists, Ridley, was named after the director.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I kind of always assumed Metroid came before Aliens, but it makes sense, like, all of that came afterwards.
The blue laser lights that were used in the alien ship, you guys remember those? Apparently, in the next set over, the Who were practicing, and they had a rock light show, and Ridley's like, I'm going to borrow those. So he borrowed those. The Xenomorph has a total of 4 minutes of screen time and does not make a first appearance until about an hour into the movie.
Yeah.
And the final randomness trivia, the title of Alien in Hungarian, the title of the Hungarian version.
Jesus Christ.
The Hungarian
Spit it out.
The Hungarian title of this movie is The Eighth Passenger Death.
Interesting.
Oh.
Alien's a way better movie title.
I agree.
Wasn't it also supposed to be called, like, Space Beast?
Space Beast, and there was another one I don't remember before Space Beast. The reason why I turned to Alien, because Dan O'Bannon, the writer, he was like, "Fuck, I use the word alien a lot in this script."
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they switched it over.
Where is the origin of "In Space Nobody Can Hear You Scream"?
That was taken over. I think the editor came up with that idea, or the marketing director.
See, just that tagline, I'm like, all right, this is going to be fucking scary as hell. And then, like I said, it was scary in a suspenseful way. It
Okay.
wasn't scary in a what I view as traditional horror films.
And
like
that's,
slasher flicks.
and that's fair. It is a much different kind of movie. It reminds me more of, like, The Thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, when I think of Alien, I think of John Carpenter's The Thing. Because the two, like, the style, the type of monster it is, like, very much, like, is similar in my mind.
You think also because we are sort of desensitized a little bit nowadays, like you try and show like, oh, this really scared me, kids back in the day, and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, I can agree with that. If the alien bricked in Ripley's mouth at some point, then it would be a lot more scary.
Okay.
Like Ash was scarier when he was doing like the weird like rolling around, swinging his arms type thing.
That's great.
Thank you.
Aliens, released in 1986 with a budget of
86, good year. Real good year. A lot of fantastic things happened in 86.
Nothing good happened.
2
years before that, a lot of good things happened.
Well, technically, it would have had to have been 3 years.
And 4 years after that, some shitty stuff happened. With a budget of $18.5 million and a box office gross, which I looked at several sources. This is the best answer I can come up with. A box office gross of 131 to 183.3 million. All of the sources said that. I don't know what that means.
So they're not certain if it made 50 more or less.
Yeah, they
than
must
the
be
number?
like, it's in this range somewhere.
Man, like taxes were weird back in the day.
So it made that box office made it one of the highest grossing flicks in 1986.
Okay.
Okay. The film starring returning Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, Michael Biehn as Hicks, Paul Reiser as Burke, Lance Henderson as Bishop, Bill Paxton as Hudson, and introduces the idea of a queen alien.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
I was very confused. I'm trying to do the adjusted for today.
Oh, okay.
And the 183 million that I put in, they're like, that's about 52 million today.
What?
Yeah. The calculator missed a zero in there is what happened. But
So it's 520 million?
yeah, something along those lines.
Okay. So before we're talking about the plot of this movie or whatever, this movie contains two actors that belong in a very, very exclusive club. Does anyone know what that club is? Or does anyone know what the two actors are?
Michael Biehn and Bill Paxton.
No. You got one right.
I got Bill Paxton right.
It's Bill Paxton.
I have
They
no idea.
They fought a xenomorph, an alien or predator, and I think there's one more.
Oh, you are so close. This club there are only 2 actors killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an Alien. It's Bill Paxton and Lance Hendrickson.
Oh, all right.
I didn't think it was Terminator. Damn.
Okay, so before we get to the idea of to get into the movie, Sigourney wasn't going to do it.
She said, I guess it was something for the longest time. Every time they came forward with a sequel to it, she's like, I really don't want to mess with it original. I think anything we do is going to tarnish it. And then it was, okay, this is actually something we can do.
So Cameron came up with, approached her with the ideas, and then there was a salary dispute. Long story short, she became the first first actress to get paid $1 million for a movie. She got paid $1 million for this movie. Sigourney told Cameron she had 3 conditions she would do this movie on. No guns, she dies in this movie, and she wants to fuck the alien.
So nothing.
She
none of
didn't.
those
She
things?
didn't get any of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But if you watch the rest
Like,
of the
are
film,
you being serious? Was
no,
you making a joke?
that is what Sigourney told
She
Cameron.
wanted to fuck the alien, no guns, and she wanted to die.
Yeah, and if you watch the rest of the franchise, she eventually got all 3 of those conditions. Uh,
The no guns part?
Alien 3 didn't have a gun.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he was on prison plan.
And I don't think they used a gun in Resurrection. I mean, she didn't. There
No.
was... okay, so...
Which one does she fuck the alien?
Resurrection.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Finally, there is an
After
urban...
we watched Resurrection, I do not remember that happening.
There is an urban legend and a myth. I can't confirm this. I'm not sure where it started. But James Cameron went into a meeting to pitch his idea, and this is what he did. He took a piece of paper, wrote the word alien, held it up, and the studio execs were like, okay. Then he wrote S at the end of alien, and he held it up, and the studio execs were like, okay. And then he went down and he put a line through the S to make it a $sign, and he held it up, and apparently the studio execs were like, yeah. I'm pretty sure that never...
Did
I'm
they do a
pretty-
thumbs
I'm
up?
pretty sure that never happened. But
I'm
that
almost
sounds like a
guaranteed that doesn't
YouTube-
happen. Yeah.
That sounds like a YouTube sketch of like, well, picture this movie. Like that sounds like a YouTube sketch today.
But Cameron, while he has the right to say it, he is one of those people that are extremely cocky.
Yeah.
Like he was working on one movie because he was married to Sarah Connor. The actress who played Sarah Connor, and he was working on another movie, and the actress is like, "Hey, we got to do this family function," and he famously said, "Anyone can be a dad. No one can do what I do."
Wow.
So, whatever. But
Damn, what the hell's her name?
to be fair, at one time he did have the
Linda
2.
Hamilton?
There we go. To be fair, at one time he had the 1 and 2 highest grossing films of all time. So, whatever.
I keep waiting for his next Avatar movie, the one where they go to the Fire Nation.
Jesus Christ.
So, I watched all the making of featurettes and the
He's
2000.
also completely oblivious to Avatar: The Last Airbender. He had no fucking clue.
Dude, he's so oblivious. They asked him what his favorite streaming service is. He goes, "I don't watch streaming services. My dreams are more entertaining than streaming services." That's how oblivious.
Yeah, it's
So-
just funny that you have like Avatar 1, the air Avatar creatures, and then you have Avatar 2, the shape of water,
Yeah.
and then Avatar 3 is going to be the Fire Nation, and then Avatar 4 obviously would be the Earth Cats.
Yeah, they do a little bit out of order.
So in Avatar, they put their tails together. That's how they have sex.
They're like USB
How do they
sticks.
control their little dragon things? With their tails.
Yeah,
All
by
I'm saying.
fucking them. Yeah,
Bestiality.
interspecies erotica, fucko.
That's the only way.
That
you
horse wasn't listening to me, so I fucked it.
now it won't look me in the eye.
Come to find out, it was the wrong horse.
Now it will look me in the eye.
Tyler, what is the...
I don't fucking know. Like I said, I barely got. I'll tell you the plot that I. So they stumble upon Ripley. She's apparently been drifting through space in cryosleep for 57 years, I believe. They take her back, and then the most realistic part of any sci-fi movie I've ever seen it's the company, and they're like, so you're saying that this alien was on board, and you blew up, which I'm sure there was a lot of money in 1986, but they're like a $48 million spaceship.
and they were hauling 2 miles. So suppose I don't think you ever see it, but they say like they were hauling some 2 mile long object of like this like ore that they were supposed to bring back.
But it was just like, and then the company's like, yeah, we want our money. Like, I was like, that's the most believable part of any sci-fi movie I've ever seen. Is a company's not like, oh my God, we're glad that you're okay. It's, you cost us this much money. We don't believe you. We're going to get that money somehow.
Yeah, and you've been subpoenaed for.
Yeah. That's basically all.
That's as far as you got?
I fell asleep.
Okay, so after that, like, they wake her up, whatnot, then they say, hey, you know that planet where you said you got that alien from? Well, it was colonized like 20 years ago, and we happen not to heard anything from them for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we need you to go back to the planet. She's like, fuck no. I'm not going back to that planet. Like, well, we got to go check on them. They go check on the planet. Everybody's dead. They find a little girl saying, everybody's dead.
Yeah, Newt survives.
Yeah. And yeah, everybody's dead.
And of all the characters, they get a raw fucking deal. Newt is the one that gets the rawest fucking deal.
Oh, in the following movie?
Yeah. Like, killed off camera because her life pod, like, fails. Like,
Well-
fucking come on.
Well, part of it also, the actor that played Newt only ever did that movie. And they asked her, like, they've asked her since, like, did you ever consider doing other movies? I was like, well, my real dream was to be a teacher, so I became a teacher.
Yeah.
She's a 4th grade teacher now.
And supposedly she gets made fun of a lot because you guys remember the dialogue where the drop ship, it crashes, and Sigourney's like, we gotta get out of here or whatever, and Newt's like looking off in the distance and goes, they mostly come out at night mostly. And that, so like her adult friends will be like, so what do you want to do tonight? And they're like, well, we're thinking about going to the club, mostly going to, like, that line drives her nuts.
If I had an actor friend who had a line like, I think I'd do the same thing.
But
Oh,
if I was her, I'd be like, bitch, I was in a fucking movie, and
That's
it was a
right.
good one.
Yeah.
I get residuals to this fucking day.
She better. I hope she does.
Yeah, so they pull her back, interrogate her, like, hey, we're gonna go back down to the planet. Like, bad idea. Gets chased by aliens. Another reason why you can't use guns. Reactor. Like, this reactor will blow up if you use guns, so that's when they go to flamethrowers. They instantly get picked off, fucking, like, commando style, one by one.
Yeah, because wasn't the reactor also the reason why they ended up not nuking it from orbit?
Yeah, because it was too expensive.
Yeah, it's like that's the where that famous the nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah.
Line comes from.
Yeah.
That and the game over, man. Game over.
So was I don't know, the version you watched, did it have the picture of Ripley's daughter? Because she asked about how long she's been out, and she got asked about her daughter, and Paul Reiser's character gave her the info on her daughter and how her daughter died like 2 years earlier.
I think so. Yeah.
And that was kind of one of the reasons why she went back. She's like, well, fuck, if she's dead, I ain't got. And that picture was actually her mom. It does, Sigourney Weaver's mom.
It's one of those things also showing, like, the idea behind hypersleep or whatever, cryosleep.
Oh yeah.
Like, how that can be a real fucking mindfuck. Like, because they do it in Interstellar, too, where they're doing, like, the time differences.
Oh,
They cut
yeah.
back, like, his granddaughter is now, like, an 80-year-old woman. And
Well, no, it was his daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. It's like, he's an 80-year-old woman. No, this ship isn't named after you. It's named after your daughter.
Yeah.
Because she's much more famous than you are.
Yeah, it's like, you didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So what do you guys what do you guys think of, like, the speaking of tonal shifts, in our last Rank Me Off episode we're talking about that. It goes from basically kind of like a slasher horror movie to an almost like, well, not almost, it's like a action sci-fi horror. Like, it's horror only because there's aliens in it, but it's basically a war movie if you take out.
Yeah, I like the way that they shift those tones, because the first one works as a horror movie because it's a bunch of road crew, basically. The second one, like, you can't have that same feeling and keep the legitimacy of the Colonial Marines without, like you have to have the Colonial Marines be a thing. So the fact that they shift it from horror to war back to horror, I think is really, really well done. And the tonal shift is nice and gradual. It's not like a sudden change. It feels right for that movie, or it doesn't like jar you. And Aliens is still one of my favorite movies in the franchise. That and Romulus are right up there together.
I will also say, like, you have the solo hunter of the first one of the, okay, I know I'm alone, so I'm going to do hit and run tactics, get these guys alone and kill them. Then you have the swarm aspect of the second one, of where, okay, there's more of us than there are of you. So it doesn't matter if a few of us die.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Queen idea and the hive mind is an interesting addition from the Aliens movie. Like that one, the one in Alien is kind of disconnected from all of that, so that they function in a way that allows them to survive. And then you get the Queen and the hive mind and all of that running the show in the second one, and that one you can see the difference in bestial behavior, and I think that makes sense. And it kind of shows follows in with the adaptability of the aliens, in my opinion.
And much like Cameron's Avatar, which was a metaphor for Vietnam War, this was also a metaphor for Vietnam War. A highly technological power going up against a more seemingly tribal force, and them realizing that just because they got more gun power doesn't mean. And you can even see it in the drop ship that comes down, the one with the wings that fold out. It was meant to resemble an Apache helicopter from Vietnam.
Oh, interesting.
Did they play Fortunate Son?
They did not. But speaking of, I think it's called an APV. I think they call it an APC. The vehicle that takes the guys. That would make an awesome Batmobile.
I guess.
What?
I like the more car Batmobiles. I don't like the tank
Alright.
Batmobiles.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson has one of the best Batmobiles ever. I don't care what anyone says.
I like that
That
Batmobile
is
a lot.
Bad ass.
I gotta say, my first Batmobile was the Keaton Batmobile.
Keaton Batmobile is iconic for
Yeah.
a reason, yeah.
Okay, all right. Going back to Aliens.
Though I gotta admit, Penguin's Batmobile was kind of as too.
Oh, I haven't seen Penguin.
No, sorry. Not the Penguin, but Dan DeVito's Penguin Batmobile, where he's controlling the Batmobile like a video game.
Yeah.
Oh, his little the one that you get outside an old grocery store.
Did they ever mass produce that? Was that real?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Loss.
Okay, so for an '86 film, what do you guys think of the action?
I didn't get there.
Yeah, solid. I mean, it to me it holds up. It holds up to me as well as Starship Troopers action scenes do.
Okay, so speaking of Starship Troopers, go ahead.
Sorry, I do have one more thing. Another piece that was brought into the iconic idea of modern culture, the exosuit.
Oh, the power loader?
Yeah, the power loader.
I got
the
some
power
trivia about
loader.
that.
The idea of, hey, this is this little thing that helped me, this piece of technology. That idea, I think, not started, but brought mech idea more to America.
Hacksmith made one.
Yeah. And they kind of showed how impractical it is because they still don't have one that can just walk by itself.
I do got some trivia behind that. So in the making of, basically, it's like a UK strongman, and his arms operate the first half of the arms. He don't control the forks, but he lifts up the arms. Okay, and there's I think what was it, like a 2 or 3 foot platform of feet. So he basically, his arms control the up and down movement of the arms. His legs control the legs with assist from a gimbal up top. And then the strong man is covered up with foam latex or not latex.
So it was a strong man with a baby Bjorn with
Yes.
Sigourney Weaver in it.
Yeah. So Sigourney Weaver sat basically, you know how like when kids ride their dad's feet?
Yeah.
It was just like that, except in reverse. Instead of facing him, she stood opposite, and basically the UK strongman moved so he lifted the arms, and then a crane and gimbal continued the movement, and when it went forward, it was assisted with wires as well, so it was counterbalanced to where he could actually lift it. So, but anyway.
So this harness that she's wearing is strapping her to a strongman?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty cool.
So, but
Get away from her, you bitch.
so the power loader. So anyway, it was not functional at all, right?
Right.
But it was shot so convincingly that many businesses wanted to buy the power loaders instead of using forklifts.
Yeah, like that sort of technology, the mobility of it to this day would revolutionize some factory work, construction work. Having the ability of something that could stand, make a lift, it to this day has inspired like mechanical assistant suits. Like military are now testing out like a exosuit of like this reduces the load so you don't have to be in as good of shape to be a soldier.
Right.
Like the idea of a mechanical assistant so you don't throw your back out from doing mundane tasks has been an idea that people have toyed with forever because of this.
Right. Anyway, going back to Daniel talking about Starship Troopers, it was one of the few. I'm sure it's one of the reasons why all of us like Starship Troopers is the co-ed shower room.
I mean, that was a good shot, yeah.
That was originally the idea. So when they wake up, the original idea was it was in the script. It was the day of filming. Everyone was going to go in there, and Vasquez and all of them, they were just going to throw their tops off and take a shower. And Cameron, and on the day, Cameron's like, look, brought the three women in and said, this is up to you. Do you want to do it? And they're like, not really. They're like, all right, fine, fair enough. In a moment of not being a dick, because a lot of the behind the scenes, Cameron is a fucking prick.
Oh yeah,
That's
like,
one of the few like moments of like I'm not going to be a prick. He was
Yeah.
like, "Do you want to do it?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Okay, we're not."
well,
Gonna do
like the story behind the fucking what's the game with the knife finger?
Oh, the five-finger fillet.
Yeah, like the actor who they're doing that to wasn't in on that.
it. No,
They just put his hand over his hand and like, hey, we're gonna do this.
but that's true. They should have told the actor. But that was actually filmed really slow, and then they sped the film up.
Right, yeah.
But the reason why they brought that up actually makes sense because Lance Henderson Bishop came up to Jim was like, hey man, I got this idea. Like I cannot hurt humans. He's like, yeah. What if I show that by putting a human hand over top of that, so I clearly cannot hurt a human, and that's why that was the whole idea.
Okay,
Except
so
in a reshoot, they did pinch his pinky with a knife.
Yeah, they did.
so I fell asleep during this one. So in the first one, Ripley is your lead basically. So whereas she's the lead, but to me she wasn't like this ultra badass. Like yes, she takes charge, she goes down, talks to the engineers, she gets in Ash's face and she's like, you violated the order when those two are off the ship. I'm in charge, you don't do this type of thing. So she's a strong leader character. Mm-hmm. Does she completely change? Because you said this is much more of a kind of like an action war type movie with horror elements. Is she more of a soldier type character in this movie?
I don't find her that way. I still feel like they keep her character true to who she is because she's second in command of the Nostromo. She's the Riker.
Yeah.
So like she didn't do anything in Aliens, in my opinion, that I would not expect someone who has progressed through the ranks of this company to be second in command of a $48 million starship. That she wouldn't have some sort of understanding. Now, she's definitely more comfortable with weapons than maybe like a road crew would be, but
that's true. But there's that scene. That is true. Mm-hmm. But she's not like she just picked up these pulse rifles. There's a scene where where like there's been too many victims, and Ripley's like, hey, show me how to fucking use this thing. And,
Right.
And Hicks, I mean, she is really good with it, but it's not like she just picks it up. And but there's also a scene, which it could have easily have been just like she becomes a badass. There is a scene where Ripley wants to go out when they invade the hive. She's going to go, and they're like, no, you are a civilian. Sit your ass down. Like they put her in her place. It's not like. But I mean, and then they start getting attacked in the hive, and she pushes that one guy out of the way and drives the thing. But it's like she has to like force herself. It's not like she's just like, I'm Ripley. I survived it. I was
just curious because, like I said, that from the sounds of it, they're in the same franchise, but like we just said a minute ago, Alien is this type of movie. Alien seems like it's similar, but it's also different in the type of way that it is. So I didn't know if they changed, not saying that they took her from, being, because she was a leader in one way in this movie. I wanted to know if they kept her in that same thing, or if they're just like, okay, now we're gonna make her this badass soldier type character.
I don't feel like they did. Maybe they pushed her a touch too far, but overall, I think they kept true to her character. She's still that kind of take charge, don't take any bullshit from anyone that she was in the first movie, and still respectful of the chain of command to a point. Because you're right, like when they're like, "You're a civilian, sit the fuck down," she kind of complies with that.
Yeah. And it's not really until like Hicks, like everyone's been wiped out until Hicks is the leader. Hicks goes over and says, "Hey, we're in over our heads. What do you think?" Like he doesn't say we're gonna follow you. He just actually listens to like I'm still the boss, but you tell me like we're actually gonna listen to what you have to say.
Right. Yeah, I think they write her really well in this one. Now, in the future movies, maybe a little bit less so, but this one, I think they kept true to who she was in the first one.
I agree. Speaking of Ripley shooting, so Sigourney Weaver, I don't know about today. At the time, huge gun advocate, like really like a staunch gun advocate, gun control, big. And that was one of the things like, I'm not shooting a gun. And so Cameron was like, it's not Sigourney Weaver, it's Ellen Ripley. And Sigourney's like, but I am Ellen Ripley, and I don't feel like, and Cameron goes, that's because this proves that these aliens are so much of a threat that Ellen Ripley knows that this is the only course of action she has. She's not taking this course of action as her first thing. This is it. It's like she realizes it's her final. So she's like, well, he goes, I'll tell you what, this is how I'm going to convince. So this is according to him.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Took her to a gun range and gave her like an M16 submachine gun or an M5. I forget what he said, an M5.
Not a submachine gun, but okay.
But he said submachine gun, so whatever the first part was. He said, and she picked it up and from the hip unloaded a whole clip. And she turned around with a smile and said, that was really cool. And then Cameron said, another liberal bites the dust. That's according to him. But anyway, that's how he finally convinced Ripley or Sigourney Weaver to pick up a gun in the movie. Any other?
Yeah, that again, that all smells like bullshit urban legend.
Okay, so making this movie was tough. So it was
Tell
done.
me about it.
It was done in Pinewood Studios, which is Great Britain, and it was done by Fox or 20th Century Fox. So it was an American studio making a movie over in Great Britain, so they had to abide by their union laws. So Cameron wanted to use a few actors, but if you do a movie overseas, before you bring in X amount of American actors,
You got to bring in British actors.
or you have to see them. So they had to so by union laws, they had to audition every single actor and actress that was interested in the movie.
And then they had to go through the runabout and say like, well, none of them fit the part. Sorry.
So the casting director said we saw thousands and thousands of people. He said it was fucking daunting. But they ended up like a lot of the Marines are British. Vasquez, who plays a Hispanic lady, is actually British. Most of the Marines are British actors. The only person from said go was Weaver. Like it was like we're not recasting her. It's going to be Weaver. And then James Remar.
So this is a question I've always had. Maybe you can tell me sort of your knowledge. Was it just cheaper to film in Great Britain? Why wasn't they just film in America?
Well, it depends. For this film, it was because Ridley originally shot the original movie was shot in London.
Okay, so this is just all of our staff that worked on this first one live in England.
Right.
Don't a lot of people want to shoot at Pinewood Studios too, just for the history of it? I could be wrong on that.
It's over there. It's their Hollywood. But see, over at Pinewood Studios, in America, you kind of pick your crew. You're like, I want this guy to be my, be my grip. I want this guy to be my effects guy. When at Pinewood Studios at that time, you get signed a crew. You get crew C. That's this person, this person, this person.
So instead of going through like, I think these group of guys that I picked and work together is like, no, this is established guys that have been working together for the last 20 years.
Right. So anyway, James Remar, you guys remember James Remar? He was the second Raiden. He was the original Hicks.
Oh, okay.
And then he ended up getting busted for marijuana, I think, or some sort of drug related. I think it was marijuana. Could have been something wrong. So he got kicked off the movie. So on a Friday night, Michael Biehn gets a phone call from Gail Ann Hurd, the producer. Is like, hey, we're making this movie Alien. Are you interested? And he's like, he's already worked with Cameron on Terminator as Kyle Reese. And he's like, yes. And she goes, is your visa up to date? And he's like, yes.
He said, no, I have a Discover.
And he's like, or passport. I said visa. I meant passport. And they said, yes. And he goes, be at the airport at this time Saturday. So he flew over on us. So that was Friday night on an airplane Saturday. Spent all day Sunday learning his lines. Monday was filming the movie that had already been in production for a month.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, to get back, after doing the aliens with an S and then the $, he got the job to write the movie. But at the same time, he also got the job to write Rambo 2. And then he also he got the job to write Rambo 2, and then he had to do rewrites on Terminator because he hadn't filmed Terminator yet because Arnold was contractually obligated to do Conan 2. So at the time he had to write Aliens, prepare to direct Aliens, do rights on Rambo 2, and do rewrites on Terminator.
Damn.
Wait, Conan came out before Terminator?
Conan 2.
Conan 2.
Mm-hmm, yeah, both Conan movies.
I always assumed Terminator was his first.
So he got the job, and British filmmaking is different than American filmmaking. So he was brought up. James Cameron was brought up in the Roger Corman way of filmmaking, which is very independent, very guerrilla. Their motto is it's easier to get forgiveness than permission type thing. And American filmmaking, you shoot 12, 14, 16-hour days. That's like a normal thing. Not so much with union laws in Great Britain.
Oh yeah, no, like we get 8 hours and we get 5 tea breaks a day.
Well, no, they get one, but like after your 8 hours, it's
we gotta go.
We clock out and we go home. Cameron didn't know that at the time, so.
Yeah, both Conan and Terminator came out in 1984. Conan and the Destroyer came out in 1984. Conan the Barbarian came out in 1982.
So there was a lot of tension between Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd, which is the director producing, their husband and wife at the time, and the British crew. The British crew didn't want to take orders from a female, so that caused a lot of problems.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's first movie was Hercules in New York in 1970.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Huh.
Yeah, clocked in at a whopping 3.3 stars.
Out of
10.
100.
Oh, okay. If it was 5, I was like, not bad. Like 10, no.
Yeah.
So anyway, at a certain time in the morning, there was a tea break. a lady would come in with a tea cart, and literally, no matter what they're doing, the British crew would literally drop cameras, microphone booms, everything, drop it, and run over to the tea cart for tea and biscuits. Okay, because they found out later that it's not like a craft service at American studios where you set a table out and that food stays on that table all day. So if you want to go get it at different times, like that lady comes out with a cart for 15 minutes and then fucks off for the rest of the day. so the British are like, we gotta go. So they go and they get it. And Cameron was talking about in the commentary about they're doing like these big action sequences, and this fucking old lady would open the set doors with this tea, and like people would just drop their boom mics and everything and just fucking run over for that tea thing. And Bill Paxton, who plays Hudson, was talking in the commentary about how they're in the middle of this, alien attack, and they're basically filming with all these actors, and it's literally just Cameron with a fucking camera running around because everyone else is at the tea break. And he's like, I gotta fucking get these shots done. And he's like, this is a big fucking film, and this is how this is being done.
That's hilarious. I love that.
So, and then there was also tensions because in the British filmmaking, you worked your way up. You became the bitch boy who swept the floors, and then worked your way up and to become director. In Hollywood, you don't necessarily have to do that. And they were like, who's this fucking 19-year-old kid who's fucking directing this movie? Because Terminator hadn't come out. He had at the time he was filming, he had filmed Terminator. It was edited and it was ready to go, but it hadn't been released. So no one knew anything about him. And so they kept calling him this arrogant, they kept calling James Cameron this stupid, arrogant Yank. And he kept saying, I was born and raised in Ontario, Canada. He's not even American. And so they wouldn't listen to him. So he got permission from the studio. Can I have Terminator? I want to show my crew so they know what I'm doing. So he set up multiple screenings of Terminator to like look, I can do this. Every time no one showed up. Not a single fucking person showed up. So it was like you had the Marines fighting the aliens on camera, then you had Cameron and Galen Hurd fighting this war. It was like a rough movie to make. So, let's see what else I got in here.
So there's one point where Ripley is looking through this round window, and the xenomorph puts its face up against it.
And goes.
And the window represents the circular nature of their life cycle.
I was gonna say the circular nature of a vagina.
Real quick, we're running out of time. Real quick. So this is kind of.
I feel sorry for your wife's vagina. Jesus.
This is kind of topical because of the shooting at Rust and all that. Mm-hmm. So the black sergeant, the actor who played the sergeant for the Marines, mm-hmm. he was an actual Marine in real life. He was a retired Marine, and he was that. And so the weapons that they used are actual modified weapons. They were blanks, but they were converted into blanks, but they were originally built to be an actual weapon. So at the time it was kind of unique. Now it's not. Everyone does this, but Cameron got all the Marines together and they went to a Marine boot camp, to bond and everything. And so anyway, during the hive infestation scene, they had all these weapons out, live action weapons, and he had noticed that a lot of these actors had bad trigger control, and they were haphazardly just carrying away. And I guess he flipped the fuck out and yelled at, just tore everyone a fucking new one. And
the sergeant did?
Yeah, the sergeant. And he was explaining, there's footage of it on the behind the scenes, but he was explaining, it doesn't matter if these are blank firing weapons. These are fucking guns, and you treat them with respect. And you can literally see all the Marines all of a sudden just snap into attention, even though they're actors.
Right.
So, and Cameron said even though that happened, that kind of helped form him as they literally looked at him as a sergeant. And he said no one put their finger on the trigger. It's weird. He literally just starts chewing everyone out.
Well, we have seen in modern media of wherein gun regulation gets relaxed behind the scene on movies, accidents happen.
Yeah, Brandon Lee and whoever got shot in the Rust.
Yeah, it's just legit. like, play all you want. You need to afford these things the respect they deserve. They are not toys. These are not.
Yeah.
Like, if you get too much of playing with something like a toy, you're going to treat like the real thing like a toy.
Yeah. Okay, real quick, run through some trivia. The alien nest set was kept intact, and it was later used as the Axis chemical set for Batman.
Oh, okay.
The original Bishop, the idea for Bishop was he had double irises or double scleras. But Cameron, there's footage of it because they tried it, and Cameron told Lance, like, you already act off-putting enough. We don't need to.
You're already weird enough, dude.
Yeah. So Lance had a relationship with Cameron because they did Terminator together. So they screened the movie after the making of the movie, and Lance knew all about the hardships of the movie. They screened it, and he said in an interview, he said he was so fucking blown away. He walked out of the movie after the end of it, and he had a cigarette, and he was just like, I can't believe this is a movie, for one thing, because he knew how hard it was and how much of a clusterfuck and the shit that they did. He goes, this is fucking amazing. He didn't know how to put it into words. And then Cameron came up and goes, so what do you think? And Lance said he just kind of like dropped his shoulders because he didn't know what to say. He didn't know how to tell Cameron that, like, this is fucking amazing. So he just kind of dropped his shoulder and goes, I'll write you a letter. And then he forgot to do it. So
James Cameron, like, he fucking hated it.
Yes.
He fucking hated it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. For years, Cameron thought Lance Henderson hated the movie, but he said it's been they've talked it out. But he said for years Cameron thought Lance hated the movie.
Well, I imagine what that guy's do to your psyche after a while.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He must have been up like, he fucking hated it. Like, I'm fucking horrible.
Okay, well, this is meant to piss off Adam. So he said Bill Paxton and Lance Hendrickson are the only two people that have been killed by a xenomorph, Predator, and Terminator.
Yes.
So in the original Terminator film, Hendrickson plays one of the detectives working the phone book killer case. He's shot repeatedly during the T-800's attack on the police station and presumably meant to be killed. He's never actually shown dead.
Oh, Jesus.
In Aliens, he plays the robot Bishop who gets ripped in half by the Xenomorph Queen shortly before the power loader fight. However, being a robot and everything, this doesn't kill him. His top half is seen wriggling on the floor and saves Newt from being sucked into space when Ripley opens the airlock.
But he dies in the third movie.
His head turns up in the third film, and Ripley has a short conversation with it before permanently switching it off. That's a debatable death because Bishop is a robot and isn't capable of dying. That's a far more philosophical question than I'm comfortable answering. Bishop doesn't die from these wounds and is, in fact, quote-unquote, killed by Ripley. He clearly survives his bifurcation, and he finally deactivated for good. In Alien vs. Predator, he plays Charles Wayland. He tries to distract one of the Predators with an improvised flamethrower and gets stabbed for his troubles. Of the three claims, this is the only unambiguous one. And then it said, it should be noted that Paxton's claim in Terminator is he's only thrown into a metal fence, and it's possible, though very unlikely, that he survived.
Jesus Christ. Okay, real quick. We're running short on time real quick.
Real quick?
Yeah. The 15-minute countdown at the end of the movie where the bomb's going to go off is actually 15 minutes.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh.
It's refreshing that they don't play with that for a change.
Right.
Speaking of Lance Henderson, he was practicing that knife trick so many times at home with different knives. He apparently wasn't thinking about it, so he's like, I don't know which knife Cameron wants. So he packed up all the knives he wanted and went to the airport with it. He actually had to have Gail come to the airport because security wouldn't let him through.
No, of course not.
So he had to have it. So anyway, there was that.
Like, I think we got a fucking serial murder. Like, it could have been like nothing ever happened at airport. The guy opened up the bag. He looks at him like,
Was the timer in Alien, was that accurate? The countdown?
I don't know.
Because it made me think of, so she's trying to stop the self-destruct, and it's funny because she shuts everything off, and then like it's like the time limit has expired, and she yells out really loud. She's like, "No, I turned it back on." I mean, she says different words, but she's basically like, "No, no, 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 no. I did what I was supposed to do. Turn off the self-destruct." It's what happened.
Okay.
No, you're right. It absolutely is what happens.
Because she's running through and she's because you have to like put all the cooling stuff back together, and because it's giving like a countdown of like, you have 1 minute until this, and like she makes the time, and then it's like, time limit has expired, and she's like, wait a fucking minute.
The final trivia in this version, the Hungarian title for this film, is The Name of the Planet, Death.
Well, they
That's
kept
not
on
a bad
theme
name.
for their own language.
Yeah.
They kept on theme for their previous name for the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So out of these two, so this is our first entry into this. We'll do the first original trilogy. See if this gathers any trilogy. The first 4 movies before the
AVP.
no before Alien Earth comes out. We'll see how popular this is. Out of these two, which one's your favorite? If you can only pick one movie to watch for the rest of your life out of these two,
Aliens.
really?
Yep, I liked Aliens way better.
I agree. Like, for Tyler's point, like, more aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, not that the first one's bad. It's just Aliens is more the kind of movie that I want to see more. Like, I like the way that the aliens were more fleshed out. They have evolved more. They have a more clear-cut idea of what the alien culture is like.
Okay.
I will say, and mostly because I think it's 2 and 3 I've seen more than the rest of mine. Like, I think I've seen 1 like 3 times, and that was so long ago.
Okay.
I don't feel like I get a vote because I fell asleep within like the first 20 minutes of Aliens. But from the way it's described, probably Aliens. Like, I can't really vote. I mean, I think Alien is a very good-looking movie, but it just, maybe it's because I've heard more of Aliens and like how it's described, and that's kind of that painted how I was trying to view Alien. Like, I thought it was going to be this much darker slasher type horror film, but
Okay. So a little bit of sizzle. Have you guys seen? Well, you said you've seen 3, but has anyone seen 3 and 4 at this point?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
3 and 4.
nope.
Yeah, I have seen all of them. I have all of the Alien movies. I haven't seen all the Predator movies yet.
Of the next 2 that we're doing, you like them?
Not
Yeah,
particularly.
this is where everyone falls off.
Yeah.
Most
I
people don't
think
like
I've
the next
seen
2.
Resurrection the most of all the aliens.
The 3 is better than Resurrection.
You could tell they
Maybe.
were stretching for 3.
Yeah.
Okay, have you
Well,
seen 3?
I haven't
why
seen
are we
any.
talking about?
I have to rewatch 3 and Resurrection for sure because I don't remember them very well.
Okay.
But
Why
yeah,
are we
they're
wa-
not great.
Yeah, why are we talking about 3 and 4 on this episode when it should be on that next episode?
It will be. It's just a little bit of sizzle.
Yeah, and you know where you can find that next episode? You can
Where,
find
Daniel?
that on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. So you've been listening to a Ridge, a Damage Control podcasting production. Make sure you check out our new episodes on most Mondays on, again, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Check out our social medias at Facebook and Instagram. And please like, comment, and subscribe.
Get that cat out of here.
Yeah. Adam, push the button.